Half a year last year, you knew what he was capable of. Did you think he was kind of due for one of these breakout games?
He puts in the work, and I've said before, I give him a lot of credit that going into every game, I never have a second thought if he's going to be ready to play, if he's organized, if he's prepared, and he gives you that. And I think his teammates appreciate that, and I know the coaching staff does.
Was that a matchup you thought you could kind of go at? He had the Kelly kid on him. Was that a good matchup for him?
Well, we tried to emphasize it a little bit. We knew he would provide space for them, and so he's a guy that can make threes. But we tried to establish Tobias early, and I think Tobias did a good job of taking great shots, being aggressive. We got in the bonus twice pretty early, and that was good for us.
Coach, talk about how you were able to exploit the Lakers' rebounding weakness tonight. You got career highs in rebounds from Tobias and Oladipo. You won the rebound battle by 11, and you won second chance points 15-2. Just talk about how you were able to exploit it.
I just think overall we talked about helping each other rebound the basketball. You know, we come into the game a little bit of a deficit of Glenn, Gard, and Gasol, and so guys rallied around Glenn and tried to help us rebound.
Coach, you've emphasized all year the need to push the ball and get out against an opponent's defense that isn't set. That seemed to be the case again tonight. What did you see out there from your guys in transition offense, and particularly Victor?
I think at the end of the day, Evan, that's how we want to play. We'll eventually get to that level of basketball consistently, but it starts, like I always talk about, just defensively getting stops. Having multiple ball handlers on the floor has been good for us, and we got that second unit into the game. They got stops, and they were able to push the basketball, which is really good for us.
Coach, you had a 38-point third quarter. It's the most points you've put up in a quarter this season. How much of that is credit to that second unit and pushing the tempo?
Well, I think there was a little bit of a contagious, feeling. It got that first group really playing together. Started off a little slow again, but we stayed the course, and things turned out in our favor a little bit. But I think overall the energy and just the feeling of that second unit that's been provided has been pretty good.
Coach, Aaron had one of his lesser scoring games of the season against the Hawks on Wednesday night. Tonight he finished with 23 on 7 of 12. Was it just a fact of him being able to get to his spots more tonight, or what did you see from him tonight?
Well, it's good to get him back to that efficient area. And I think he was really focused at where he wanted to get his shots from. I loved his concentration at the beginning of the game. He was aggressive. I think he thought he could get to his spots, and when he does, there's a high percentage that he's going to make them.
Is that almost like a weapon for you now, that second unit? When you go to them, you know that they're going to bring you something, the way that group is playing together?
Well, John, I really want to see could they continue to do it consistently, and they're trying to prove themselves. I think they enjoy playing for each other. They have a comfort level, and it's been good for us, for them to get into the game at that juncture of the game and change the tempo and get it in our favor, the pace. That's a good thing.
I know that each game is different, but is this the style of play that you're going to need to win more consistently over the second half of the season, with contributions from three-point range and also rather sizable advantage in free throws?
I think that's the last thing you said, Ken, the free throws. I think Victor's ability to get to the rim kind of established our inside presence tonight. Him wanting to get to the free throw line, then Tobias take advantage of his matchup. Those are the things we want to consistently do. Getting out and running in transition, we want to do that, but again, that's all predicated upon us getting stops. Tonight we challenged the three. I thought pretty good. We weren't great in transition tonight defensively, but overall offensively we got a chance to push the basketball.
Playing time for Kyle, for Duran, for Mo has been it's hard to come by for parts of the season for each of them. Looking back at it, was and is that time on the bench, the knowledge that minutes are not a given, is that lit a fire under each of them?
Well, you hope internally each guy has a motivation to stay in this league and to find a position in this league and minutes in this league. It's a tough thing to do. There are college kids wanting their minutes right now. There are other veterans in the league who want their minutes. And the sooner you realize that, the better off you are. That starts your preparation as a professional. That starts you thinking about maybe I should watch the Lakers as they played Miami the night before. Get my league pass. And so that's what we want our guys to get to, where they're preparing not only when they're in the gym with the coaches, but at home thinking about basketball.
Jacque, when you say that's how we want to play, do you see this roster with the Moes, guys who can tear up the court, Victor can push the ball, Jameer can push the ball? You've got a lot of young, athletic guys who can push the pace and play fast break basketball?
Well, we're still learning to play with each other, but I think an advantage of scoring before the defense is set, that's just good basketball. And then if you don't score, now you're getting into your offense at an earlier stage in the shot clock. So that's the second part of it. And I think we need that time as well to execute properly.
Jacque, can you talk about your team's response, especially like in that third quarter when LA slipped away early to 10 points, and you not only responded, but you sort of slammed them right there on the spot?
For me, those are the areas that I look to, when I review the tape. How was our response? We haven't been great probably the last 3 games in the third quarter. This time we took a punch, but we didn't wilt, and that was good to see. That first unit responded, and then the guys who came off the bench held up their end of the bargain.
Jacque, the coaches will be voting on the All-Star reserves, and obviously Aaron's in the discussion. What is your feeling about rewarding or not rewarding guys who are on teams that don't have great records?
I think in the West, that's a problem. In the East, I'm not sure you have that problem. I think there's maybe a handful of teams with winning records. And so at the end of the day, I think you reward a guy with his efficient play and how he's been for his team throughout the course of the year.
Everyone good? 10:45 now.